Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatasya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. Continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, Chapter 3. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stay at the house of Advaitacharya. Text 86 onwards. So as we know, yesterday we discussed Advaitacharya's Prabhu's wife, Sita Thakurani. She prepared so much of prasadam for Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu said, I cannot eat that much. And Advaitacharya, oh, it is just one morsel for you. What's a big deal? And he also asked Nityanand Prabhu to sit down. And Nityanand Prabhu performing his wonderful fast. And he said, I was fasting for 3 days. I thought I will get something better to eat. And this looks like I'm going to continue with my fasting. So some conversation between Nityanand Prabhu and Advaitacharya, which, as it was said, that not everybody can understand that. So further, they are discussing. Tumi khete paradash vishamanirana amitaha kaha bhava daridra brahman. Advaitacharya accused. Advaitacharya accused Nityanand Prabhu, saying, you can eat 10 to 20 manas of rice. I'm a poor Brahman. How shall I get so much rice? A man is a measurement containing about 40 kilos. Ye paya cha mushti ek anna taha khaya utha. Pagalami na kariha na chadaya jhutha. Whatever you have, though it be a palmful of rice, please eat it and get up. Don't show your madness and strew the remnants of food here and there. Ei mat hasara se kare na bhojana, ardha khaya prabhu chade na vyanjan. In this way, Nityanand Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate and talked with Advaitacharya jokingly. After eating half of each vegetable preparation given to them, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu abandoned it and went on to the next. Sei Vyanjanacharya puna karin pura, nei matta puna pariveshe vyanjan. As soon as the half of the vegetable in the pot was finished, Advaitacharya filled it up again. In this way, the Lord finished half of a preparation. Advaitacharya again and again filled it up. Dona vyanjane bhari kare na prarthana, Prabhu bale nar kata kariba bhojan. After filling a pot with vegetables, Advaitacharya requested them to eat more. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how much more can I go on eating? Acharya kahe ye diyachi taha na chadi pa, ekha na ye diye tar ardeka khai pa. Advaita Acharya said, please do not give up whatever I have already given you. Now, whatever I am giving, you may eat half and leave half. Nana yatna danya prabhu karaile bhojan, acharya icha prabhu karila puran. In this way, by submitting various humble requests, Advaita Acharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda eat. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desires of Advaitacharya. Nityananda kahe amar peta na bharila, laiha yaha tora anna kichu na khaila. Again, Nityanand Prabhu jokingly said, my belly is not yet filled up. Please take away your food. I have not taken the least of it. Eta bali ek gras bhat hate laya, ujhali feliya age ye na krudhaya. After saying this, Nityanand Prabhu took a handful of rice and threw it on the floor in front of him, as if he were angry. भात दुई चारी लागे आचार्य अंगे, भात अंगे लया acharya nache bahurange. When 2 or 4 pieces of the thrown rice touched his body, Advaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to his body. Avadhu tera jhutha lagila mora ange, parama pavitra more kailai dhange. When the rice thrown by Nityanand Prabhu touched his body, Advaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of remnants thrown by Paramhansa Nityananda. Therefore, he began dancing. So he got ecstatic symptoms by the rice that were thrown by Nityanand Prabhu when the rice touched Advaita Acharya. The word avadhuta refers to one above all rules and regulations, sometimes not observing all the rules and regulations of a sannyasi. Nityanand Prabhu exhibited the behavior of a mad avadhuta. He threw the remnants of food on the ground, and some of these remnants touched the body of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya accepted this happily because he presented himself as a member of the community of Smarta Brahmins. By touching the remnants of food thrown by Nityanand Prabhu, Advaita Acharya immediately felt himself purified of all smarta contamination. The remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava called Maha Prasadam. This is completely spiritual and is identified with Lord Vishnu. Such remnants are not ordinary. The spiritual master is to be considered on the stage of Paramhansa and beyond the jurisdiction of the Varnashram institution. The remnants of the food left by spiritual master and similar Paramhansas, so pure Vaishnavas, are purifying. When an ordinary person touches such prasadam, his mind is purified and his mind is raised to the status of a pure Brahman. The behavior and statements of Advaita Acharya are meant for the understanding of ordinary people who are unaware of the strength of spiritual values, not knowing the potency of food left by the bona fide spiritual master and pure Vaishnavas. So this is how powerful it is. The Maha Prasadam, and Prabhupada is talking about food, the remnants of food left by spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, pure Vaishnavas. Is very powerful. Actually, once Srila Prabhupada, he was flying and he had 2 disciples with him, Shrutkirti Prabhu and Nanda. Either I don't remember. I don't think Shrutkirti Prabhu, there was another one. Anyway, so whenever Prabhupada would leave one temple, go to another, and devotees would pack some prasadam for him for the journey. So as soon as they sat down, Prabhupada said, "I'm hungry," and some devotees had packed some puffed rice for him. So he said, "What do you have?" And the devotee said, "Oh, we have puffed rice." So somebody had Muri made it. The Prabhupada said, "Okay, give me some." So they gave Prabhupada, poured some on the plate, paper plate, and gave it to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was eating. And after eating, he left the rest for his disciples. So the devotees had the plate in front and they were eating. And one air hostess, she was just walking by, taking care of all the passengers, and she saw that devotees are eating. And they don't do this, but she grabbed that food and she said, "Oh, this looks great." And she just grabbed one handful and ate it. And the devotees were even surprised. How come she just grabbed and ate it? Air hostess are not supposed to do that. Well, anyway, so she said, well, do you need anything? Prabhupada said, well, if we can get some hot milk, that'll be great. Or she said, sure. So she went into business class, got some hot milk for 3 of them, and gave them and left. So after the journey, Prabhupada went down and went to his, wherever the program was, and wherever they were going to stay. So this happened to be the airlines in Mexico, somewhere in Mexico, or South America, not exactly Mexico. So many years later, devotees, they do this book distribution, Sankirtan, they travel here and there. In America, it is very common, or used to be common. They would just travel to remote places and sell books. So very remote place, they just knocked at a door. They were knocking at every door, and then knocked opened at a door, and a lady opened the door, and they showed her the books, and they said, if you would like to take. They explained something. She invited them inside. Okay. And when they went inside, they saw an altar. And she had those books, and she had an altar, and they were surprised. I mean, there's no temple nearby. Where'd you get all these books and information, how to set up an altar, how to do chanting and everything? She said, actually, she was the same air hostess who had taken, she said, I took that Mahaprasad, and then my life just changed. And afterwards, I looked for books, and I found some books, and from the books I've been reading, I set up this altar, and I do my services. So just one handful of that puffed rice she had, which was Mahaprasad of Srila Prabhupada, and it changed her life completely. So this is how powerful prasadam is. तोरे निमंत्रण करी पैनु तार फाल तोर जाति कुल नाही सहज पालन. Advaita Acharya jokingly said, my dear Nityananda, I invited you. Indeed, I have received the results. You have no fixed caste or dynasty. By nature, you are a madman. The word Sahaja Pagal, by nature a madman, indicate that Nityananda Prabhu was transcendently situated on the Paramhansa stage. Because he always remembered Radha Krishna in the service, this was transcendental madness. Sri Advaita Acharya was pointing out this fact. And madness of love for Krishna, and love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was mad. And when he throws his prasadam and it touched Advaita Acharya's body, he also became mad in love for Mahaprabhu and for Radha Krishna. So when he says you have no fixed caste or dynasty, so those who are still in the Barley concept, they might think, oh, he's calling Nityananda Prabhu that you're out of this Varnashram system. But transcendently, he's not within this Varnashram. He's outside anyway. He's on the Paramhansa or Avadhut platform. आपनार सम मोरे करिबार तारे झूठा दिले विप्र बलि भय न करी दे. To make me a madman like yourself, you have thrown the remnants of your food at me. You did not even fear the fact that I'm a Brahman. The words apanarasam indicate that Advaita Acharya considered himself to belong to the Smartha Brahmins. And he considered Nityananda Prabhu to be on the transcendental stage with pure Vaishnavas. Again, Advaita Acharya, although he is Mahavishnu himself, but he is considering himself as Smartha Brahman, that I'm not even a Vaishnava. This is a humility of all devotees of Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda gave Advaita Acharya his remnants to situate him on the same platform and make him a pure, unalloyed Vaishnava or Paramahansa. Of course, Nityananda Prabhu also knows Advaita Acharya's position. So this is just a pastime going on between the two. But for those who don't understand their position, so this has a different meaning. Advaita Acharya's statement indicates that a Paramhansa Vaishnava is transcendently situated. A pure Vaishnava is not subject to the rules and regulations of the Smarta Brahmins. That was the reason for Advaita Acharya's stating, Apanara Sammora Kari Bharatare, to raise me to your own standard. A pure Vaishnava or a person on the Paramhansa stage accepts the remnants of food, Mahaprasadam, as spiritual. He does not consider it to be material or sense gratificatory. He accepts Mahaprasadam not as ordinary dal and rice, but as spiritual sustenance. To say nothing of the remnants of food left by a pure Vaishnava, Prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth of a Chandal. So this principle I've only seen followed in Jagannath Puri. The prasadam is never polluted, even if it is touched by the mouth of a chandal. Anybody can eat from your plate, and it is Jagannath prasadam. It's always pure. Indeed, it retains its spiritual value. Therefore, by eating or touching such Mahaprasadam, a Brahman is not degraded. There is no question of being polluted by touching the remnants of such food. Actually, by eating such Mahaprasadam, one is freed from all the contaminations of the material condition. That is a verdict of the Shastra. This is how powerful Mahaprasadam is, actually. And to tell you the story, Narad Muni once heard the glories of Mahaprasadam. He heard so much, and Prabhupada has explained little here, and there's so much of glories. So he went to Vaikuntha. He went to Madhya Lakshmi. Madhya Lakshmi was preparing bhoga for Narayan. So Narad Muni went to Mother, I've heard so much of Mahaprasadam, the glories of Mahaprasadam, the potency of Mahaprasadam. Please give me some Mahaprasadam of Lord Narayan. Mother Lakshmi said, well, I've been told by Narayan that don't give my prasadam to anybody. You just eat it, you finish it, but don't give it to anybody else. So I cannot disobey him. Narad Muni said, but mother, I've heard so much and I'm like your son, I'm like your servant, you can give me some. She said, no, because he will get upset with me, so cannot give you any. So Narad Muni said, okay, cannot give, but can I help you in serving? Can I help you in preparing some cut up, sabji cut up or something? She said, okay, yeah, that you can do. So for some time, Narad Muni performed that service. So after a while, he again asked, and Mother Lakshmi, mothers are very compassionate. She said, okay, I'll give you some, but don't tell anybody. And Narad Muni had some Mahaprasad. And he had and he ate and he was dancing and chanting Narad Muni Bajai Veena. And on his Veena, he was playing and he was chanting the names and dancing. He came to Kailash. So when he came to Kailash, Shivji said, Narad Muni, what happened? Why are you so happy? How come you're so happy today? What's happening? Oh, I got Lord's Mahaprasad today. I'm very happy, and I honored it. And he was dancing, playing on his instrument, chanting. She said, "You didn't keep any for me? You're my younger brother. You should have kept some for me. You were coming to Kailash. I never get that Mahaprashadam." And Narad Muni, no, he was ashamed that he didn't keep anything for Lord Shiva. But he said, "Well, I have some stuck between my nails, the nail and the skin, so you can have that." Shivji said, "Yeah, that is good. That's good enough." And he got that. And then Shivji got into ecstasy. And he started dancing. And he forgot where his Damaru went. And he was dancing and chanting in so much of ecstasy. And Parvati ji came out. She said, "Well, it's not the time for Tandav. Why are you dancing like this?" And dancing, both were dancing, Shivji and Narad Muni, and they were dancing and chanting, and that we got Mahaprasad, we got Mahaprasad. And Parvati ji said, "Where is my share?" Now she was like, "Well, this Narad only gave me a little that was stuck between his nails and the skin, and I don't have." Parvati ji asked Narad Muni, "You were coming here, why didn't you get me any Mahaprasad?" Well, then they both were looking at each other what to do. Then Parvati ji said, "Okay, fine. Both of you are good for nothing. I will perform austerities to to please Lord Narayan and get his Mahaprasad." So she went and she sat down in meditation, performing austerities. Now the news went all over that Parvati ji is performing austerity. Lord Narayan came. "What do you want?" "I want your Mahaprasad." And Lord said, "Well, I've told Lakshmi ji not to give it to anybody, but you have performed so many austerities. So I have to fulfill your desire." So how he fulfilled her desire, that your temple will be in the same complex as my temple in Jagannath Puri. Once they may do the offering for me, which is Chapan Bhog every day, then the plate will come to your temple. That is, your name will be Bimla, and plate will come to your temple. You will have, and then it will go out for everybody to honor. So that's why Jagannath Prasad, every time it goes to Bimla Devi's temple, then it becomes Bimla Prasad, means then it becomes Maha Prasad, and then it comes to Anand Bazar. And it has been going on since time immemorial. This is the mercy of the Lord. So this is how powerful Mahaprasad is. Now, thinking of Mahaprasad, for how many years we've been offering, or we've been taking Mahaprasad in the temple also. I mean, just little Narad Muni got and Shivji got, and they went into ecstasy. And Advaita Acharya got stuck by 3 or 4 pieces of rice, and he went into ecstasy. Well, we don't have any ecstasy. So this is our condition, our situation. So much of prasadam we have had, Charnamrit, and so many trips, say to Vrindavan or to Jagannath Puri and all other places. Still, because our heart is so hard, so much of ignorance is there, that we are not getting those ecstatic emotions, feelings in us when we perform our other services like chanting or other services. So the process is only then, and there's no other process to get purified. So the only thing is we have to perform it more diligently, with more sincerity. Then definitely once we have the Mahaprasad, we'll also be chanting and dancing like Narad Muni and Shivji and Advaita Acharya. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mata.
the prasad goes from Jagannath temple to Vimla temple. That is Parvati
Yeah.
ji.
Mhm.
And from where does it, I missed, from the Vimla temple, where does it go?
Oh, there's a market in the temple complex. It's called Anand Bazaar.
Anand Bazaar. Okay.
It comes there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mata.
हो सकता है भगवान ने चाहा तो I will come, but I don't know at this moment, but I do want to make it there.
Yeah, Jagannath ji is like that. He wants everybody to come.
Yeah. Let's see.
ठीक है माता. Chalo, we'll stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai
Hare
Shri.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.